Hello, you retards and fuckheads. Welcome to another exciting edition of my show. It's called News of the Day, and that's when I take news stories from the day and I put it through, we analyze it. Well, I analyze it. You sit and listen. And sometimes I give it a biblical slant. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? First story. A former porno queen died. Her name was Jessie Jane. She was famous back in the early 2000s. I can't remember if I've ever seen any of her videos. I probably have, I just can't remember. Anyway, this lady, I think her real name is Cindy. She was living in Oklahoma. She was 42 with her 32-year-old boyfriend, and they were doing drugs, fentanyl, and they died. And, it's happening all the time now. People dying of fentanyl. I don't know if being a porno queen had anything to do with it. I'm sure it's not a healthy lifestyle being a porno queen. I don't have any daughters, but I have sons. And if they said, "Hey, Dad, I'm a porno star," I'd pop them right in the mouth, which might be hypocritical. I think we've all watched porno at one time or another. I bring this up because I don't know, like, if the industry killed her, or if it's just one of those deals that she liked drugs. I don't know. I don't know, like, if that partying lifestyle is just born into people. I have no clue. But she's dead. And nothing's going to bring her back. So there goes it. That's it. That's the whole story. Jessie Jane is dead. So I guess we'll move on to the next story. But putting a biblical slant on it, well, it doesn't take a genius to figure it out, right? You don't want to be an exhibitionist, I guess. I guess that would put a lot of stress on you. Once you put yourself out, naked and having sex for the whole world to see, it might cause strain. You're going to definitely limit your opportunities in the world because no one will be taking you seriously anymore. Although I've heard of some porn stars becoming real estate agents and doing well. And salesmen in general and doing well. So, who knows? 100,000 people a year are dying from these drug overdoses in America. Fentanyl, they tell me, is produced in China. Then they ship it to Mexico, and then it crosses the border, and it kills our people. 100,000 a year. That's more than the entire Vietnam War. It's almost like a secret war going on. It's almost, you could say, maybe China's getting the white man back for the Boxer rebellion. Well, when the English were shipping opium and getting all the Chinese addicted to opium. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But it does seem like it's a secret war almost to kill Americans. Am I a conspiracy theorist? I have no idea. Story 2. Justice Sotomayor. Sotomayor is a libtard judge who was put on the Supreme Court while Obama was the president. Anyway, some guy was sneaking around her house And then he pulled a gun on her uh, bodyguards. Now, when you're a Supreme Court justice, your bodyguards are federal marshals and FBI agents, yada, yada. So they shot him dead. So this creep is now dead. He's as dead as Jessie Jane and her 32-year-old boyfriend. Anyway, I was thinking about this story because Sotomayor is one of those libtards who wants to take away some of your rights to own guns, right? So that you won't be able to protect yourself. But notice how all the elites, they got guns aplenty. Their henchmen have guns, right? They're always protected. But they don't seem to care about you, the normal person, whether or not you're protected. Just my observation. What do I know? But if I ever move back to America, maybe I'll buy a gun. Or maybe I won't. Who knows? I used to own a gun. I didn't own it. I did own it. Kinda. I worked for a company that gave me a gun. I was a teacher, a public school teacher. Well, I guess you could say I rented a gun. And then on the weekends, I would do work as a security guard. And I rented a .357 Magnum. Not that I wanted a .357 Magnum. It's just that that's what he had available. The guy who owned the company. And he took so much out of my paycheck a week to rent the gun. And we used wad cutters. Wad cutters are what you use to shoot at paper targets. I still think they'll get the job done. And you might not know this, but a .357 Magnum could shoot its own ammunition or .38 caliber bullets. Just some extra information for you. The biblical slant on this story is government corruption. And what happens when you have an ungodly government that doesn't care about its people and they leave a border wide open so that 100,000 civilians can get killed every year, right? There's no love in these people. They have nothing but disdain for us. They hate us. What else could it be? You're going to let China send fentanyl, then the Mexican cartels bring it across the border to kill 100,000 of us, and we leave the border wide open. You tell me what else it could be besides that they hate our guts. And the final story. The final story is that the entire libtard media has now decided to get rid of Biden. Who is Stephen King is also jumping on board. And, when I was a kid, I used to really like his novels. Salem's Lot, and The Dead Zone, and The Shining. I used to, up until, I guess as an artist, you only have so many in you. Lately, well, for decades, let's face it, they haven't been all that great. But the first 5 or 6 of those books, I enjoyed the hell out of them. But he's a libtard, and he wants Biden out, and so do people like Rob Reiner and in the entertainment industry, and then James Carville. But here's the thing. The people have voted. So I don't know how you can get him out. He won the primary. Dean Phillips ran against him, but Biden won. So I don't know how, unless he bows out and says, hey, I'm not going to do it anymore. I don't see how they can get rid of him. Anyway, I'm at 10 minutes. And I'm going to say this. If you like this video, press like. If you want to join the channel, press subscribe. I'm up to 50 subscribers. Not great, but could be worse. So, God bless you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.